Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Today I want to talk about the optimal raw vegan diet, the optimal way to do this lifestyle. Any guesses? What is the optimal way to do the raw vegan diet? I was laying out in the sun this morning and I don't know, I was looking around. I couldn't really find anything to listen to while I was taking my son, so I was just jumping around and I jumped from a couple of videos to another before I eventually settled on a podcast that I enjoyed. But, I came across a couple more of people yammering on, preaching, pontificating about what they considered what was the optimal raw vegan diet for everybody out there. I try to be realistic and I try to keep everything in perspective. I realize my circumstances. Listen, I live in paradise. I live in the tropics. I can get fruit all the time. You see the fruit I have. It's at my fingertips. I mean, I can go out and get some this afternoon, and I don't mean just half-assed bananas. I'm talking about I can get good stuff. I'm sitting on mamey sapotes, mangoes, papayas, pineapples, mandarinas, all kind of good stuff right now. Also, I'm a single guy. I don't have any kids. I don't have responsibilities. I don't have people to take care of. I don't have other people. I don't have people really. I'm not living with anybody. I don't have to deal with a lot of people. I don't have to deal with social situations. I don't have people in the house with me, that have all kind of garbage. I don't have to prepare food. I don't have to prepare food that I don't like or that I would not put in my body for anything for other people. So the point I'm getting at here is everybody's circumstances are different. And you really need to stop listening to some of these people out there that have their special circumstances that are preaching to you and telling you how it should have been done. If somebody's, like wherever they are, it's like tends to be not as many other people in Costa Rica, Thailand, Hawaii. It's easy for somebody sitting in one of these places to tell you how everything should be. And especially when they have different circumstances than you do. If let's say you're a single mom, or even a mom, even you've got a partner and you got 3 kids, you got to get those 3 kids to school in the morning. You got to get food for them. You got to get food for your husband or your partner, or however you guys work that out amongst yourself. You have to go to work yourself. You have to sit in traffic. You have to go places. You're sitting in the Midwest somewhere. You're sitting up north. You're sitting somewhere, hell, Alabama, where I just came from, where basically the main thing you're going to get is bananas. Now, granted, yeah, I could have gotten more citrus than I did, but, it was bananas. So, I think optimal, people have to start reconsidering what they consider optimal. And you have to start using your brain, and anybody on YouTube that you resonate with, whether it be me, whether it be somebody else, you're not in my circumstances. So the best thing you can do with anybody's videos or examples that you're looking at is take the message, take the core, take the base of that, and try to extrapolate from that for where you are. That's the way I would do. It's almost like okay, here's a good example. A lot of times, if you want to come up with a decent raw vegan recipe, you go find whatever food it is, lasagna, pad thai, blah blah blah, tacos, whatever, and you start looking at those ingredients and you figure out a way to do it raw vegan. Well, depending on where you are, let's say you're looking at my videos and you see how I eat. Like, you can go look at my what I eat in a day videos, what I ate today videos, and you can see basically my kind of food philosophy. You can see I'm eating fruit, the amount of greens. Okay, if you're sitting somewhere in the Midwest right now, if you're sitting somewhere over in the UK, if you're sitting somewhere in Canada, chances are you might be. I'm not going to say you're not, but chances are you're not going to be getting good mangoes. Chances are you're not going to be getting good pineapple or good anything else. So you could be doing that, trying to do this thing on bananas or maybe dates. So you have to take that, you kind of have to take that and adjust it to your situation and figure out how it will work in the framework of your life. Because you're not living my life, I'm not living your life. We're all individual beings. And I think there probably is an optimal, There's definitely, I'm sure there is a optimal, but once again, not everybody's living in the same place. And a lot of this whole thing about the natural diet of man is raw vegan and blah, blah, blah. Yes, that might be, but that was also too, if you want to go back to natural man and all that stuff, I don't really like to get into that because then you bring the wackadoodles out. But if you want to get back into that this is the natural way of eating, you're leaving a big part out of that, because maybe the natural diet, but also that was when man was living close to the equator, that, you know, and everything was available to people. As you know, as humans branched out, as they went further, as they went north, as they went into cold climates, that just didn't, I mean, you know, I'm sorry, you don't have the tropical fruit, you don't have the fruit. So I'm not sure that fully raw vegan is optimal or natural in every location, every place, every circumstance. Now, somebody will want to argue out there. I'm not saying it can't be done. There's a lot of people that can do it. There's a lot of people that can survive. But when it gets to be that hard, I'm a numbers guy. I've told you guys many times before, what are the odds? How many people are going to be fully raw in those certain circumstances? Maybe in the circumstances where you're living. So maybe that's the safety valve you need to get to a healthier place. I mean, you know, raw above everything. I mean, seriously, sometimes I see some of these recipes and I know some of these people would not touch a bite of cooked food under penalty of death. And I'm thinking, really? You know, there's a shitstorm of like chemicals and processed food and stuff all in this raw dish over here. Really? That's going to be more optimal for you than a steamed sweet potato, baked sweet potato, and some steamed vegetables, which is starch, which is sugar, which, you know, I'm sorry. So I think you really, instead of, you start using yourself as start thinking more of your circumstances. Don't just willy-nilly watch people look at information and just take that in, you know, as is. If you're going to move to the tropics, amen. I'll tell you what, I can tell you today, and I've said this before, you come down to the tropics where I am right now, yeah, I can probably get you fully raw in a month. Because it's just here, it's easy, it's warm outside, there's fruit everywhere. It's, you know, you don't try to do raw vegan down here. I don't put any effort into this down here, it just is. When I go back to the States, and that's why, like I say, I've got a little bit more of a grasp on this whole raw versus cooked world. When I go back to the States, no, then I have to start working on it. And to be honest, I've told you a million times too, I'm a lazy person. I'm not really about like working all day for my lifestyle. I mean, I eat well when I'm in the States. I don't mean like I just go nuts and I'm hitting the drive-through and eating garbage, but I do what I got to do, you know, when I'm there, and I keep myself quite healthy, and I come back down here, boom, step right back into the raw and I'm good to go. But you know, you just gotta make this thing work wherever you are. You've got to make this thing work for your circumstances in life, your location in life, your mentality, you know. So as always, I'll just try to finish with a message that I just try to keep hammering over and over and over and over. Let's focus on our health. Let's focus on clean eating. Let's focus on clean, whole food plants. Let's focus on eating fruit. But let's focus on the health more so than this obsession with raw, this obsession with being fully raw. The raw's the best. I'll always say that for me. I feel absolutely phenomenal right now, but you got to do what you can with what you've got. Anyhow, I hope this one made a little bit of sense. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll hit that subscribe button over there, and I hope you are having a wonderful week. Love you guys. Peace.